youths.
No, please.
Don't. That's not how we do the intro, Jay. Shut up.
It's been 2 months. I don't remember what the intro was like. Hello, everybody. Welcome to What's Left of Us, the D&D Faceless and Big Lizards live stream. See, I remember that. I remember that part.
That part only.
That part.
But now you have to explain why we were ranting about the youths right before you opened. It's a bad cold open because it requires context.
No, it doesn't. Everyone rails against the youths. Just raise your fist
Sorry,
to the
Zoe.
sky.
Youngest person here.
Yeah.
You are now, by default, the youths. What do the youths say, Zoe?
Lots of things. Riz is one of them.
Uh-huh.
I see. Uh-huh.
Drip
Do they
is
still,
one of them.
do they still say daddy-o?
Couldn't tell you.
I'm gonna assume they do. All right, daddy-os and happy
No!
It's good.
Don't love that.
Hate that, hate that, hate that, hate that, hate that. Hate that so much.
Well,
One more fuck up like that and you lose intro privileges.
That's been what's left of us for 2025, everybody. That's our show.
I love the smell of stupid in the afternoon.
It
Finish
is.
the intro, Corn Man, or I'm leaving.
Welcome back. As I said earlier, this is our TTRPG live stream where we get together, we play a TTRPG for your personal enjoyment. Our story has encapsulated. This is now it's what, 3rd year, 4th year?
We are starting the third year, I believe.
Okay.
Because
what is time? A weird.
We started in 2020, like January 2022, I believe.
Right. Yeah. Wild. Welcome.
I see a Ronathan in the chat. We miss you, buddy.
It's true. As you notice, we are down 2 players today. They are, of course, off doing other things. Unfortunately, people have jobs.
Ew.
People have family.
Eh.
And so the rest of us losers are here. And I mean, cool people.
No family, no job, gang. Rise up.
Rise up. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
I love group hallucination activities. This is the most important thing in my day.
For those of you wondering, a little housekeeping out at the gate. Some of you have already seen our lovely mods, Sam and Sly Fox 23. They're both in our chat here. Oh, Sam is pronouns in my bio. I'm so sorry. Both of them are creators in their own right as well. That's why I know Sam from. So please go and double check pronouns in my bio and Sly Fox in the chat. They have their own links and stuff. They should work. I remade that entire thing for Sam to make it work.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. I did it.
Did you remember to open the bot before we started the stream?
It is open. Watch this.
I am so proud of you.
Wow!
Look at it go.
There you go.
Wow.
Anyways, I hope that works out. Anyways, those people will be taking care of you all in chat, meaning that they will either take care of your immediate questions and guide you to where you need to go if you have any burning questions, or they will take care of you as in if you are being a doink, they will take you out back.
Behind the baseball bat.
Yeah, don't test them. They'll do it. They've done it before. Let's see here. What else do we usually talk about at the beginning of these things? VODs for the show are available immediately afterwards. Obviously, this is a TTRPG show, and so everyone at the table has consented to some of the content that is going to be happening here today. You here at home have not. If the case comes up that a piece of imagery comes up that you just don't enjoy, please do yourself a favor and back out of the stream for a little tiny bit. Come back in a little later when you can. Let's see. What else? Big questions.
I was going to say we can scream at Jared for gifting 20 gifted memberships immediately.
Jared is already back. Jared must be stopped. Jared is a force of nature. You will find them in our chat, and they will be gifting out subs. Everyone thank Jared by screaming at them. That's Jared's preferred method. Point. Yeah. Any questions that you have about the story or about the characters, or about anything you're seeing, hold them, because right after the stream, right after we're done playing, we do a little tiny couch session where we take all your questions and we answer them as best our abilities. And we answer each other's questions too sometimes. Like, what the fuck, Jay? That was messed up.
Yeah.
Why was that in your head,
What the F?
Jay?
Why
was
did you
there a
make us
llama?
be in a circus for 6 months?
Why was there a circus?
6 months! 6 months living
Yes.
amongst the circus people.
Mm-hmm,
I did my time.
Yes.
And now Jay's gonna be like, hey, guess what? You guys left the circus? Boom! Second circus.
Second circus. Surprise. There was
Surprise, second
you
circus.
were actually inside a tiny circus that was inside a bigger circus.
Oh
now
god.
It is circusception. You've gone another layer down. Okay, everybody. I think that is probably about it. Aside from the fact that thank you all for coming back and watching us for a new year. I see the chat is full and it's lovely to see, especially when a show like ours that only runs once a month takes a month off. It can be a little hard. So really, honestly, and we hope to that you all enjoy our story enough to justify coming back and seeing the sort of quality that you've come to expect here with Last of Us.
Well said, Daddy-O.
Yes!
No, see, it's not cringe when I say it.
Oh, well, that's because you're a VTuber and you're already inundated
I'm
with
an
cringe.
influencer. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did also want to check the audio levels because
Oh, yes.
everything got reset. So let us know in the chat.
Yes. If anything is too loud or you can't hear music from the game, the Tailspire application that we use for our map or anything like that, let us know. Just sound off in the comment. Just say it once or twice if I don't see it, and then I'll fiddle with the dials and get it in. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of new things already in the year. I got a new camera. Can you tell?
Wow. Your new camera's lagging, apparently.
How? It's not lagging on my end.
I think it's an internet thing. It might be your internet because it seems like everyone was lagging a little bit for a hot sec.
Oh, okay.
I did notice your camera quality dipped for a little bit, but you're back now. So
Perfect.
probably just an internet fart.
Lovely. All right. I think that's good.
Yeehaw.
Who remembers what happened last time?
Circus.
Circus and feelings.
Circus and feelings. That's right. I didn't leave it on an ominous tone this time. I left it on a touching tone. Maybe
Beat the shit out of a robot. Emery almost died again. This keeps happening. My poor girl.
It was very sad.
Was a little sad, wasn't it?
Mm.
Just a little bit. See, I can damage your emotions in a couple of ways. Is the versatility that I have, gotten. It was the end of the circus arc. You got to the final show of the night under the big top, and it turned out it was audience participation. And it was essentially just a big fight against some homicidal clowns, because I can't not have those in a circus setting. There were beast tamers that were themselves the beasts, taming beast tamers because everything's wacky in the Feywild. And then there were some trapeze artists that were fun to fight. Emery decided that it's time to grow wings.
Decided as if I had not been trying for several months.
Yeah. It'll make it a little bit more difficult for her to dance, but since she couldn't dance at first anyway, fun.
Listen, my headcanon now is that she sleeps on her back usually, and now she's just like, shit.
It's gonna be so good. And then obviously, yes, there was a big robot. There was some sort of like indentured inevitable Modron that was used in the final act, that when Emery dropped below far enough to activate the Black Heart, a secondary programming layer that the show owners were not aware of activated, the presence of something called anathema in Emery spurred it on. And they were forced to beat the ever-living tar out of it. And then, of course, as they walked away, we got a nice shot of Sparks bidding one of his children goodbye as he walked away with his mother, which was...
And I felt very fine and normal about it.
Very fine and normal.
Absolutely. Everyone's fine and normal. I think that's it.
Hmm?
I think that's it. I can't hit them with llamas anymore because I already... They killed the llama. They did what Yzma could not.
A llama? He's supposed to be dead.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay, Zoe, now you do an Emperor's New Groove impression.
Nope.
Boo. We're being robbed.
I don't know who she'd be. I think she would probably be either the squirrel or one of the kids.
Squirrels. Zoe loves small woodland creatures. We know this about her. Yeah, talk like an Animal Crossing character. Yeah!
Done. See?
Incredible. Dungeons and Dragons.
We're just gonna start playing Mouse Guard now. That's what this is. We're gonna have a small side campaign. We're gonna start playing Mouse Guard. It'll be perfect. Okay. Yes. So with that in mind, you all walked out of the circus. Little Henry in tow. And you walked out of the Feywild with a swirl of autumn leaves. And back into the material plane. The sunshine, indeed. Where's my tail spire? There it is. Yeah. You find yourself somewhere in a forest. Pretty sure it's the High Forest. It'd be weird if it wasn't. You're definitely not where you were when you started. So it's you three that you can see here, and Henry. Where's Henry? Where's my Henry model? I could have sworn I put him here. I guess I didn't. Henry went missing again. My goodness.
Oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry.
There you go. TimTam and
Henry. I'm just gonna keep coming up with new ways to say it.
Unfortunately, I don't think Emery has her new model yet. So
I don't. I have not quite settled on it yet, but there is a wingy model in progress. I'll have it for next time.
Wingy model. All right, everybody. So the first thing you notice, obviously, is that dang Feywild, always so unpredictable. You've appeared without your companions once again.
Is this just gonna keep happening?
God
Are people
fucking
just
damn
gonna
it.
keep disappearing? Because like that, I would love it if we could like stay together.
Yeah, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Apparently, the universe has other plans. Although, she kind of like flexes the wings on her back a little bit.
How big are they? Are they like full grown?
They're big enough to carry a person, so they are very large. Yeah.
Oh.
When she unfolds them. When she folds them up, they're like, I don't know, you ever see gargoyles as a kid? That's a little bit before some of your time, but big wing.
I mean, I understand the concept of gargoyles.
Big wing.
Big.
Emery should do the thing that Goliath used to do where he hooked his wings around himself like a cape.
Maybe. I think for a while she's just going to accidentally hit people with them for a long time while she gets used to just having that.
Get stuck on doorways and stuff. Yeah.
Like, shit. Just like whacks people in the face with the wings.
Does anybody know where we are?
Forest. Hang on. And she's like, if you look, she's a little giddy about it, but she's like, I'll see if I can figure out where we are. And she kind of steps back a little bit and she's like, hey, Tim, check this out. Woo! And I go up.
She spreads her wings like Batman's cape and just whoosh into the air. I need you to make me an acrobatics check. Actually,
I was gonna say,
pardon me.
does she know how to fly?
Can I make it athletics instead? Because my modifiers are way better for that.
I'm aware, but unfortunately, acrobatics cover how you tumble through the air, and this is way more
Darn.
acrobatics.
14.
14.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you make it up. You hit a couple branches on the way that you weren't expecting to hit.
Gosh,
It's a
I
little
think
bit less graceful than you were thinking.
it's a little cartoony. You know how like a character in a cartoon will get like blasted off into space and you just hear woo. It's kind of like that, but she's just like giddy laughing, occasionally interrupted with "ow, fuck" when she hits a branch or some shit.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
What do you see?
Woods. What do I see? Dungeon
That's
master.
true. Why don't you make me a perception check?
Perception. Oh no, 3. One of those branches hit me in the eye.
Yeah, you're about to look around and you open your eyes a little bit too soon. And you catch like a fir branch right in your face. Just God damn it. You gotta like clear your eyes for a few seconds before you can try again. And oh boy, who knows what you might have missed in that first glance. Go ahead and roll me another perception check.
Yay, I'm using different dice. 2! Shut I
You're
rolled a
never
3,
letting you.
and then a 2 on my other dice. My God,
We're never
disgrace
letting
is
you
right.
do this again.
Yeah, no, I think
Literally
maybe she just
perception
like
disgrace.
yeah, I think she just comes back down and she's like picking pine needles like out of her face or some shit, and she's just like, "Hey Tim, you want to be my eyes for a sec?
Okay,
I got some fucking sap."
Do you need help? Are you like actually hurt, or do
I'm
you
all
just,
right.
like,
She's like blinking back tears, and her eyes are all
She's
red.
got like a
She's
pine
like,
needle stuck in her eyelid. Just
oh,
I'm fine. Just want
okay.
to figure out where we are, and I can't see shit right now.
Sparks, can you like do a scan of the area and figure out where we are?
immediately. And like the little feet underneath his little feet kind of tuck in and like rocket. He begins to boost upwards again.
All
It's
right,
very
that's
sis-
just not fair.
It's
I
very
love it.
smoky. You don't know what fuel he's using because you've never given him any.
No, it's
Burning Vernon's hand.
love.
It's still in there, right?
It is,
Mhm.
yeah. And so yeah, he goes up for a little bit and very unstable. It's very slow for him to go up and then
What do
come
you-
back down.
What do you see?
Forest, hills, more forest, plains.
Do you see any like towers or like buildings?
Tower spotted.
Okay, well, yeah. Keep track of where it is, and then we can go toward it.
He comes down. You see like there's like a small fire starting underneath him where he comes down.
I'll just really quickly just bap, 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 like kick it.
Kick that out.
Smoke. It's somewhere. Smokey the Bear does a thumbs up towards the camera.
Remember, kids, have an infernal presence near you at all times to bap out fires. Just throws Emery on it like a fire blanket.
Well, I guess we have a direction that we can go, and then once we get to the tower, we can sort of figure out from there.
Did it look like one of your parents' towers, or like the
Oh yeah, I just sort of
or
assumed
like a
that's
different tower?
Yeah, Sparks, was it one of the clock towers, or was it different?
A tower was spotted.
What kind of tower, buddy?
A tall one. He's like wagging his little tail.
Can I try to go up again and see if I can see the tower that he mentioned?
Sure, make me an acrobatics check.
Dice, I swear to God. That is a natural fucking 20. I see
There you go.
everything.
Goodness.
It's just your acrobatics. Now you gotta do perception.
Oh, so sweet Jesus. Okay, well, that's not as good. It's a 9. But I already know what I'm looking for.
It's not a difficult roll. I just needed you to roll more than 3.
4. No, it's a
So
9.
yeah, so with a 9, you do indeed see where the tower is, and he's right. It's a tall tower. It is likely to be the same type of tower. It seems to be from the angle you're at right now. Unless you get a much better look at it, I don't think you'd be able to tell definitively.
It just looks like a stick off in the distance.
Essentially, there's some like wooden roof tiles that look kind of the same as the clock tower that you're used
We can
to.
see the roof tiles, but we can't see the giant clock face on the front of it.
No, there's too many trees up and around it. It's far off. And more importantly, with a 9, you do see a nice big stretch of plain that are going around down towards what you assume to be the south, given the position of the sun. And you just make out the very faintest line of what could be, I don't know, a road or track, perhaps.
So we're near the south end of the forest, or this is just
You believe you're
like a weird.
You believe you're in the south end of the forest. It looks very vaguely reminiscent of the area around Loudwater, even though you don't remember much about the area since you've been there only briefly.
Where is my uncle's house in comparison to that? Like,
If
how far have we been warped?
you-
I guess is maybe another question.
You'd probably have to travel at least a day through the forest going north to get back there.
Ah, shit. So much for this being a day trip, huh?
This tower's much
If we're
closer.
if we're near Loudwater, does that mean that this could be the one that she grew up in? Like this could be her tower,
It could be.
probably.
Could be. It was the only one that you remember being near Loudwater. So
Okay, I will descend and I will relay that to the team. And it seems like you said it's like close to the end of the day. It's like late afternoon, probably.
right now, no, it is probably late morning, I imagine.
Oh,
What time of day was it when we went into the feywild? I'm trying to figure out how much time is theoretically passed.
I think it was morning when you left because you stayed the night in the tower, didn't you?
yeah, but there's also like timey-wimey shit with the Feywild, so like it could be 100 years in the future and we wouldn't know.
That's true.
Shit. Run over to Loudwater. Hey, what year is it?
Wow, you're the second tiefling to run up and ask me that. That's a nice little joke from our other show. Okay. So?
Well, we can. So if we are where you say that we are, then I think maybe the tower's our best bet. Because, like, especially if this is the one that I grew up. Oh my gosh! I can show you all my stuff. I can show you where I've been living for so long. If this is my tower, we can hang out there and like wait for other people. Should we leave like a note or something for people?
Yeah, I just feel like So the tower we were at, that we were close to when we got jorped into the Feywild, that's like nowhere near here, right?
Nope. It was north by almost a whole day from the hunting camp.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think they would have any reason to know to come down here is the thing. I mean, we could stop there, but I don't think we should stay there just to wait for everyone else if we don't have a way to contact them.
Yeah, but what if they pop out at the same place that we did?
I mean, we can leave notes around, but I don't know if...
Well, I guess it could be like picked up by somebody that we don't want to know where we are.
I think since we're close to it and it's kind of on the way, we could stop through there, but I think that heading back to the manor is probably our best bet to meet up with the others.
Fine.
We can circle back later.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
Okay, we head to the tower. How far off is it? I know we already said this, I think, but...
Yeah, you think it's probably going to take the rest of the day to get there?
Oh, boy. Out of curiosity... out of curiosity, Sparks keeps getting new functionalities that TimTam did not program in. Does he happen to have like an email function so that we can contact the family and like let them know that we're still alive?
Yeah, can he do like a sending or something?
You guys have actually already used him for that before. Yes,
Have we?
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, to relay messages and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Opens his mouth.
Okay, I would just like to use Sparks to like send correspondence to my uncle and just be like, "Hey, we're gonna be back later than expected. We're not dead. The other crew might get there before us. We ended up getting split up for stupid reasons. Not dead yet though, so that's good. Just letting them know that we're still alive, basically." Any
Yeah,
response?
yeah. Your uncle's voice comes out of the dog's mouth, like literally just. And he says, okay. You've been gone a little longer than a day. We're starting to
Wait,
get
how?
worried.
Oh no.
Ah, damn it. There was some timey-wimey bullshit, wasn't there? Is there a limit on how many times he can do sending?
It's more or less. You can just talk back and forth.
Okay, he's like, I'm imagining it's just walking through the forest while this
Yeah.
conversation is happening. He's like, yeah, so part of the stupid reason is, we got jorped into the feywild temporarily. How long has it been?
It's been 15 years.
No, it hasn't.
Just kidding.
Don't,
No.
I swear to God,
That's not
don't
very
do that to
nice.
me.
It's been like 3 days. I just thought I'd get you because I knew that there is probably Feywild nonsense going on. This forest is full of
Can't
it.
do that. You can't do that to me, man.
I did. I just did.
You can't, though. You really should.
You remember that time when I went on that little hunting trip into the forest alone and left you and your sister at the hunting lodge with the servants, and then I came back like 2 days later and I had put like that gray moss in my hair and I was like, "What year is it?" And then you
Yes.
both got very scared.
Yes.
Oh, man, you kids were so easy to do. Anyways, it's only been 3 days.
Okay, well, I know I said the original plan was for this to be a day trip, and so that's obviously not going to happen. Just, tell Nina not to freak out. We're fine.
All of you were
We just
there.
got a
the
little turned
counterpoint?
around. Remember how I said stupid shit happened? Well, some of our others got separated. We're not sure
Separated.
exactly where they are. Hopefully they know to go back to the manor. They might get there before us. We're gonna try and meet back up with them, hopefully, but
Yeah.
I fucking hate this forest, man.
It's very difficult to get a stable portal going here. You have to pretty much get an archfey to do it for you if you want it to work properly.
Yeah, like that one I broke on purpose.
You
Sorry about
broke?
that.
Archfey.
Well,
Just
no,
questions
because
for
remember,
later.
yeah.
You should avoid being loud in the high forest. Remember what I told you. Lots of things there can eat you, especially the ones that look harmless.
Trust, we've already had our fair share.
Best of luck. I guess try to keep in contact as much as you can.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Will do.
Spark goes conk.
Should we try and contact the other group?
Yeah, probably.
Just see if we can figure out where they are.
It opens up again.
Paging Wrath and Vernon, you guys there?
The number you are attempting to reach is not in service.
Shit.
Does that mean they're on another plane?
Yes.
Thanks, Marks.
Fucking
So I
hate this
guess
forest!
they're probably still stuck in the Feywild.
Maybe it's
Right,
like
or they
Vernon's botched weird teleportation thing and it
Oh,
took them
yeah.
longer for some reason.
Yeah, or they could be like in the astral sea or in the ethereal plane. which is because that's like like that sort of like travel is like you go through the ethereal plane, so like they could be stuck there. I guess it's so if well, do we are we interested in what are we going to do about my parents?
I think that right now we're kind of focused on too many things and we need to pare down what's highest priority.
But I just mean because I know we talked about like going to the ethereal plane to try and, if not get them out, at least like talk to them. But so like if our friends are in the ethereal plane too, then like we could do both.
Sure, but the ethereal plane's like a whole plane.
Yeah,
They might not be in the same place.
I don't know how to get there either. So
Yeah,
like
me neither. So maybe, okay, listen. As much as I am loath to leave them to their own devices, because good lord, they're gonna show up with like some weird shit. But Vernon's got that whole planar crab thing, so I think they'll probably be able to get out of whatever the hell they got into.
that's
It just
true.
might take them a little longer, given what we know about the way that he teleports. And sometimes it takes like 8 hours instead of instantaneous. So I think maybe we try to be optimistic that they can handle themselves for just a little bit longer, and we try to get ourselves to safety and keep trying to contact them until it goes through. And if it goes, let's say, a full 24 hours and we still can't get in contact with them, that's when we start worrying.
Okay.
In the meantime, we can head to your parents' tower. We'll see if we can find anything useful there, and we'll go from there.
Wow, Emery, you're so good at making plans. I bet you were like a really good noble.
Did my best. Kind of was part of the manual, but whatever.
Yeah, isn't that like the whole thing that nobles do? Is just like make plans and like tell people what to do?
It's a big part of it.
Well, you're very good at it.
Well, thank you. Anyway, walking, and she's just like da, 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 da.
I have to pee. You still realize that Henry's there.
Yeah, they go in the woods. That's what I did.
I had a bucket in the tower.
Okay, well, pretend you've got a bucket and use a bush.
Is it because they both start with B?
Yeah, that's why.
Only pee on things that start with B. Got it.
Don't take that lesson
Got
from it.
All right, I'm going. Who pissed on my bed? This child. This child. This
Not my
child.
books.
I suddenly can't think of anything that starts with B.
Oh no!
I'm
Bruce
like,
Banner, no!
My Batman figurine collection. Who pissed on my Batmans? Anyway, we're walking in the woods.
Yeah.
No!
Someone give me a survival check, please.
Can I? Oh, I guess yeah.
Mine's a +0. What's yours?
+3. And I was thinking if it really is her parents' tower, or like the tower that she grew up in, she probably knows the general area pretty well. Could I do it with advantage? Please? She knows the area.
Yes, I think that's perfectly fine. Besides, you only have a +3.
Well, I rolled 2 10s, so 13.
13 in total. Well, that doesn't get you very lost. However, in typical TimTam fashion, you kind of like, instead of going straight to the tower, you sort of like go on your greatest hits. You go, oh, I remember this rock. And this burl. And at some point, I need you both to roll me a perception.
Perception.
Don't disgrace again. It was prophetic last time.
Middling,
I rolled
but
3 10s.
15.
Wow. At some point in while you're walking around, you spot off in the distance a clearing. And in this clearing, a majestic sight. One of the very rare ones in the high woods. The unicorn is just slowly walking its way. It is very thin and spindly, like unicorns are on the legs, but the big giant tufts of fur on the back of the head and the lengths of stuff. And you're far enough away that it hasn't noticed you, and you can just kind of watch it. And you're watching it slowly walk across the glade, and its horn begins to light up and strobe a little bit. And you see a bunch of birds just kind of like gathering around it, like sort of like a fairy tale princess sort of moment where the birds like alight on its nostrils and like on its back and all this other stuff. And it's like this beautiful picturesque moment. And then it bites one of the birds out of the air, and begins just chomping at birds. And it gets like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh my god. I feel like Emery is just like completely enraptured by like just watching this thing. And she's like, oh man, I wish Nina were here. She'd love this shit. And then it starts eating birds, and I'm like, I'm glad Nina's not here.
This is when you all realize one of the very interesting hidden things about unicorns. They're carnivores. They have big sharp teeth. And they thirst for blood because they're celestial creatures, you see.
How does A be there?
Yeah, are all celestials carnivores?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. Celestial creatures
Angel
require blood to
descends
function
from the
because
heaven is
they
like,
don't have their own.
I thirst for blood, be not afraid. Gonna do a little suck on your neck, don't worry about it.
Is that why like people get sacrificed to for unicorns to like draw in a unicorn?
Yeah. Celestials don't really have their own blood, and so they need the blood of mortals.
Okay.
And so yeah, I mean, obviously, TimTam, this isn't necessarily news to you. I think you've seen probably a unicorn or two in your time here, and they're always doing that. They turn on their strobing horn, and they gather in small woodland creatures, rabbits and stuff like that. The first time you saw a unicorn, it was majestic until it kicked a rabbit to death and ate it.
Oh my god!
So,
isn't this like the coolest?
Like an anglerfish.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Do you have a light?
Get the quote right.
Don't come at me, please.
Can I have a cigarette? Is the quote you're looking for?
No, there's. Do you have a light? That was one part of the first. You gotta watch it. You gotta listen to Anglerfish again.
I listened to it like 3 weeks ago. I'm
telling you, do you have a light? Is there?
It very much is not. We'll fight about it after this episode.
I'll find it. I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you guys keep going, and you eventually do indeed reach the tower. But by that point, it is very much nighttime.
Is it Tim's tower?
Let us see. I have to adjust the time scale here. Let's get down here. Let's up the exposure ever slightly. Go down to beautiful. Tim, you are walking down and you realize suddenly there's a sort of a beaten path. A little overgrown, but nothing too rough. Where is Emery? There's Emery.
Oh, I'm in the astral. I'm in the void. Yay.
And you do, of course, recognize. Oh no, I've got to get Henry again. There we go.
Oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry.
There you are. Henry has arrived. Yeah, you recognize the little twisted gate that you made, and the timbers that you directed some automatons to put up. So this whole area here, this area that's been built up, your parents let you build this. They didn't care what happened just outside. And so you basically built what you called Castle TimTam, and it was covered in anything. You had platforms up high in the trees. You had a tent you built. You made like a road sign because you made your own roads and you named them. Yeah, you're
So this
recognizable.
is where I lived. And she runs through and like it shows all of the different things, and it's like, and this is where I would take naps in the middle of the day when it was too hot, and so I had to sleep indoors. And this is where I met my first squirrel, and we were best friends for a little bit. And I don't know what happened to him, but I'm just not going to worry about it. And she just like goes through all of the different things and is just like sprinting back and forth, showing you all of the little nooks and crannies.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah? You built all this?
Mhm.
Damn. All right.
I mean, I didn't like have much else to do, so
Why is that tent glowing?
why is that tent glowing?
Is there a tent glowing? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of like green.
It's radioactive.
Huh. I don't know.
Radioactive! Radioactive!
There's something in there. Tim, you remember you discovered uranium at some point. You just put a little bit up there for later.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Just
casually.
for fun.
Yep. But yeah, this is Castle TimTam is in full effect. Your rope bridge has since degraded and fallen apart. It wasn't, honestly, it wasn't up to Gnomesha codes anyway, so it
Ugh.
wouldn't have survived. You knew that when you were going in. You had a build permit to make it better, but your parents were like, "You don't need a permit. This is your house."
Yeah.
Regardless, welcome to that. The tower itself, however, you all note, is very similar to the one you saw before. A little bit more put together, perhaps. There's not like scaffolding hanging off of the back end. But as you can see, the clock face is still stuck at the time.
What time is it stuck at?
It's not overly important to when exactly. Tim, when do you think it would have been stopped?
Probably sometime in the morning. Let's say 7:24.
In the morning, yeah. Whatever's the most inconvenient time for you to have been shoved out of the magnificent mansion that was your parents' home.
Yeah, so like when I was growing up and like for most of my life, there was a really cool, the inside was all like laboratories and libraries and workshops, but then all the magic stopped and now there's nothing inside. And that's why I left, and that's how I came to find you.
So wait, there's nothing inside?
Well, Tim, you would know that your parents' laboratory specifically was a physical location because they didn't want it to just disappear. Yeah.
I mean,
so
there
it's
is like
technically still there.
Yeah, there is a lab. It's not quite as like there's not. There were a lot more rooms and there was a lot more like cool stuff, but the lab is in there. But that's about it.
I mean, you're kind of leading the charge here. What exactly did you want to look for?
Well,
Actually,
are we looking for stuff?
Before we get into that, and she kind of like looks at the tower and then looks back at Tim and is like, "Are you gonna be okay going back in there?"
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
Well, I mean, we've learned a lot of shit in the last couple days, weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. So much has happened that I kind of forgot about it.
I kind of figured.
We can always maybe like stay out here tonight in Castle TimTam, and then maybe in the morning we can look at stuff.
That'll do, but I'm worried about staying on ground level. We should at least get some higher grounds in case there's, shit going around. I remember at the last tower we were at, there was kind of like the weird outdoor stairs and then went up to like a room behind the clock. Would that be somewhere that we could potentially get to from the outside? Does this tower have something like that?
It doesn't seem to have an outdoor stairs at all, which makes it seem that it's probably more finished. The stairs are probably more intact on the interior.
Shit.
If you want to get up high, you could also, of course, just go down to the lab, which is a secure location.
Yeah, but emotional trauma.
I suppose.
Yeah, Jay. Emotional trauma.
That's what I'm trying to do. Thank you.
I guess at this point it's up to you. I mean, we've got the penthouse, and I point up to like the little tree house.
I mean, if you like, I don't know. I mean, do you think it's safe out here?
Well, we can take turns sleeping, although I don't know if I trust Henry to be on watch by himself. And I'm not saying this out loud. I'm thinking this, and like, there's only 3 of us. So if we took turns, we'd each be on watch all by ourselves, unless Sparks stayed up with us. We could just like put Sparks on alert all night potentially.
Yeah.
And we could try to get some sleep.
I mean, if you really want to go in, we can go in. I'm just.
It's not about wanting to go in, it's just trying to figure out what would be safer. I mean, going inside would definitely be the safer place to stay overnight, but...
Okay, I mean, I think I'll be okay.
Well, if you're not, don't hide it, alright?
Okay.
If you're not comfortable with it, you need to say something, alright?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, don't
I know.
Okay, alright.
Oh, we both did that, huh?
I think it might just be like a gnome thing.
Maybe. I don't remember Mom doing it, though. Or Dad.
Wait, yeah, I mean, but they're, as we've come to realize, they're not really like normal gnomes.
Yeah. Some of their automatons they made did that, though.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll just have to explore the world and meet more gnomes to figure out if it's a gnome thing or just a butterball thing.
There's more family? Is that the Butterballs?
I mean,
besides the clone thing. Like Mom and Dad's family.
I mean, gnomes usually have a lot of kids. I mean, not all of the one, like, not quite as many as is us, but so like I think that Mom and Dad probably have like brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point. Hey, Miss Emery. You're older. If babies don't come from cloning all the time, then what do they come from normally?
Tower. And I go inside. Actually, can I get inside? It's like, oh, look, it's time to go inside.
Yeah, the door opens on its own as you approach.
Wasn't locked or anything?
No, it has an automatic opener on it.
Oh, like a grocery store.
Yeah.
Gnome street store.
Gnome street store.
No.
Like
I apologize for that.
Like a gnome foods.
Gnome
See,
goods.
I was Gnome goods is very good.
Gnome goods, Anobies.
I don't know what that is.
Anobies.
I think that's is that a Canada?
You know, America's not the only place in the world.
I don't know your weird Canada shit. Just go to your gnome bees and buy your ketchup chips and leave me alone.
So
We're
yes,
in the tower now.
Absolutely, you're in the tower, and it is again. It's very similar. It's a little rundown. There's a little like emergency like living space that had been set up in here just in case the Magnificent Mansion had ever gone down. And you could have used it, and you did use it for some things, like a kitchen, for instance, but you tended to actually stay outside for the longest time. Well, for however long you did end up staying here to collect yourself after the Magnificent Mansion spell died. And yeah, you could definitely go upstairs, but there is a way to get downstairs inside of one of these huts, and you know that.
Well, we can just stay in here, or we can go down to the lab also.
I mean, if we're just staying the night, where would be the best spot to put up camp?
That's a good question. I think it depends on... let's just go down to the lab, because now I'm, like... scared.
I'll just give her, like, a little shoulder pat.
Pat.
And look for this downstairs.
Oh, it's in the hut back there. And Tim will lead the way.
I am like big sister mode, looking for any sign that Tim is not comfortable with what is happening right now. She is on overprotective sibling alert.
Let us get people in here. Where is TimTam? Oh, there's Tammy. TimTam. Tammy, who's been having adventures.
Tammy!
Okay.
Tammy!
TimTam, or rather Henry, pardon me. Yeah, Henry at every level.
Oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry. Welcome. This is the first time you have set foot back in this room since that nightmare of yours. But it all looked actually weirdly accurate. There wasn't even a lot of like, you know that thing that sometimes happens in dreams where you go, it didn't look anything like the space that my brain said it was, but my brain said it was this space. Doesn't happen. TimTam's dreams were apparently laser sharp.
Yeah, see, are the fires still going? Like, actually, were they like?
Yep, the fires are still going. You know,
forever?
There's a couple of automatons in here somewhere that are totally keeping things going.
Yeah, so like it's at least like nice and warm in here.
That's true.
Is it weird to see it now in real life after we saw it in the nightmare?
Yeah, kinda. It's pretty close to how it looked in there, too.
Yeah, all of my dreams are like perfectly accurate to real life, so.
Huh.
It's like a photographic memory sort of thing, but like for dreams.
Huh. All right. I am going to scan the area for potential danger.
Make me a perception check.
Perception. Oh, thank God. Not disgraceful for once. 17.
Yeah, you guys get partway down the stairs, and you notice the approach of an automaton who had been like manning a gear shaft off to the side here. Tim, you know this to be Woobles. They had other names. You gave this one Woobles.
Yes.
Woobles has a partner named Weebles. And there's really, your parents said there was never any proof of this, but you're certain that they answered those names when your parents aren't around. You're certain.
Woobles!
Miss TimTam, welcome back.
Hi. I'm back. This is Emery, and this is. Can we like huddle a little bit for just a second with
Sure.
Emery and Henry? Should we like pretend that he's not my brother just in case like they didn't want us to meet and they would be like super angry if they knew that me and Henry knew each other? Should we like pretend that he's somebody else?
I mean, that's up to you. If
Why
you
would
think
they
that's a
be-
possibility.
Why would they be mad?
I don't know. I mean, they kept us in different towers for a reason, right?
Well, why would Woobles be mad?
Well, what if my parents come back and I guess our parents, sorry, I'm still getting used to that. What if mom and dad come back and then the automata tell them that we met and then they're mad at us?
Well, we could just tell the automata not to tell them.
Yeah, but like they can. I always thought that mom and dad could tell even like when we told them not to say anything.
Oh. Well, I didn't have a lot of that experience.
Oh.
Like, mom and dad just kind of stayed with me for like a couple of years and then left. I was like, well, you gotta be hitting the old dusty trail. You kids have fun.
I don't know, Emery, what should I do?
I mean, if you're just talking to Emery, I would say I love the idea of pissing off your parents, but I don't know if that's the best choice right now. I think if that is something you think you should be worried about, you don't have to say your relation.
Okay. And she turns back to Woobles. This is Emery. She has wings now. Isn't that cool? And this is Fred, who we met in the woods.
New users
He's also a
identify
gnome.
Emery, who has wings now, and Fred, who we met in the woods.
And this is Sparks. This is Sparks is an automaton, sort of, kind of. That it's complicated, but I made him, and I sort of like based some of the stuff that he can do on all of you.
The automaton's gonna think his name is all of that.
Oh no. His name is just Sparks. Sparks.
No, I think so. You Sparks, just Sparks.
No.
Bond. James Bond.
Yeah. I think Sparks is sitting at the top of the stairway, and they're both kind of regarding each other. You see both of them, like, their eye thingies just kind of refocus for a few seconds, like they're having a moment. Roll me an insight check, any of you.
Oh.
Insight's fun. I've got a +0 to that.
Yeah.
9?
11.
11. I mean, 11 and 9, like, this isn't, like, hugely weird or difficult to spot. It's, you're getting the vibe of, like, the older sibling regarding the younger sibling who is way more successful and is sort of, like, a little bit jealous of that. That's the vibe going on.
So anyway, what have you been up to since I left?
This unit and Unit 15B have been keeping the laboratory sealed and functional.
Is 15B Weebles?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I mean, I know that I asked you this before because it's been a long time, but I think that my mom and dad might be in the ethereal plane. Do you know how what the deal with that is?
In case of emergency, we were directed to place you on the path to going into their secondary library, or secondary laboratory, excuse me.
Secondary.
I mean, that's probably where all the stuff happened.
There is a door you know you're never supposed to go through.
Do we want to... We're huddling again. Do we want to do this now, or do we want to go to sleep?
You seem distressed, so I'm going to say let's do it in the morning.
Yeah, but like, what if I'm not able to sleep because there's like so much?
Do you think that seeing what is in there would make that situation any better? This is a genuine question. I'm not like... Which is gonna be worse, the anticipation or the knowing?
Oh, I don't know.
You want to flip a
I
coin
mean,
about it?
Gnomes always like to know stuff. That's why it's
Yeah,
called
I'm
knowing.
just. I don't think that's true.
You guys don't spell knowing with a GN?
No.
Oh, buddy.
Did you have a dictionary at your tower?
It was the Gnomish dictionary.
That's been like discredited. You know that, right?
What? It's my
Yeah.
whole education.
Oh,
Oh no.
It's like if you gave somebody the Uwu dictionary to learn from, and that's all they had.
Uwu?
Exactly.
This
is my whole
education, Uwu.
Incredible.
My name is Henry and I'm a gnome. I learned everything from the Gnomish dictionary, Uwu.
Precisely. You're all welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Yeah, I'm worried that I'm not gonna be able to sleep, and then I'm gonna be even grumpier in the morning, and so like maybe we should just get it out of the way now. You know, just like rip the band-aid off.
Hey Sparks, do you know how to do any sleep spells?
I believe I know at least 3 methods for rendering someone unconscious.
What are they?
1, the standard sleep spell.
Okay,
2,
well, as long as you
a
know.
potion.
Okay.
3,
Third one.
a hammer.
Do you have a hammer, buddy?
No.
I have
Aw.
a hammer.
Don't give him that. Method 1 or 2 would be preferable here.
He like goes, and then she goes, don't give it, and then he goes, oh.
No, listen, knowing him, he can probably just like bop a little hammer out of that weird chest compartment of his. Anyway. So, if sleep is not an issue, because your dog can just put you to sleep, what would you rather do?
I think I kind of just want to get it out of the way. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be thinking about it like the whole time if we're not like whatever we're doing, it's going to be on my mind, and so we might as well just like do it.
Fair enough, I'd argue the same.
At this point, a second automaton comes in holding a tray that is currently covered in what appears to be cookies. They're very badly shaped, and they have something on them that is akin to sprinkles. And he's got like a little an apron on, and he's got like a funny little hat that doesn't look anything like a chef's hat. It's just floppy. And he walks in and says, "Woobles, I have created what I believe to be the perfect cookie." And then Woobles goes, 15B, we have guests.
Weevils!
Oh, it is just TimTam. You can say my name, Woobles. Weevils, we talked about this. I am incapable of not shipping 2 inanimate objects.
We know. Also, can I just, may I add a single inconsequential design element to these robots?
Yeah.
I would like it so that there is some sort of gravity detection device on them, so that no matter how hard you push them, they do not fall over, because weevils wobble, but they don't fall down.
Thank you. Yeah. I love that you got there before I made the joke.
I'll eat a weird cookie, sure, why not?
Yeah, I think, can we have some of these cookies? Is that okay? Or are they just like automaton cookies?
I would be so happy for you to try my cookies and confirm that they are indeed the best cookies.
Okay.
Pick one up and I'll give it a sniff first.
It smells like it's cooked sugar. I mean, Well, it's
Mm,
cookie-like.
I take a small bite.
It
I
tastes.
stick 2 in my mouth at once.
They are so awful. In fact, Tim, I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
That's right.
And so the journey ends for
9.
Timothy. Oh no.
No, you immediately, like, no decorum. You immediately just spit them back out. Just,
Ah!
yeah. Weebles was like, oh no. They have all the molecular ingredients of cookies down to the slightest arrangement of the component elements.
Did you remember to deshell the eggs?
The recipe required egg, does not the whole egg.
Oh boy, and I'm sure that's just probably one of the things. You know what, buddy? And she like pats whichever one this is, Weebles or whatever,
It's
on
Weebles, it's
the
Weebles.
robotic shoulder, and it's just like, we'll get you a cookbook, buddy.
I would appreciate that. I have been going off of trial and error. I have been told you must boil down the sugar cane. I have not yet mastered it.
Oh boy.
Oh goodness. Thanks for the cookie.
So,
I'm-
library, laboratory, something. Second
Yeah.
one.
Can we go down to the second, the lab that...
Yes, it is your right to do so. And they point you towards the back, where there is
Okay.
a doorway.
Is the door still locked? I know they said they kept it locked at all times. Do I need like a key or something?
That door is never locked to a member of the Butterball family.
Oh. It's weird that they would tell me that it was. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's go.
You do get to the door. At this point, Henry is like, hey, can I, like, stay in this lab with the nice automatons? I don't...
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you go,
I am sleepy, and I don't want to know anything.
You don't? But you're the one who said that gnomes like to know stuff.
That's true, but I'm already knowing things I didn't know yesterday, and then I was in the feywild for a bit. They gnome napped me, and
now I know him too much.
now I know him too much. And that's napped with a GN, by the way.
Of course it is.
Proper gnomish spelling. I wanna sit and maybe sleep on this a bit. And those cookies were delicious, so I think I want to have more.
Oh, okay.
Well, someone's gonna eat them, I guess.
Okay.
Listen, maybe he'll learn something from this.
Yeah, when we come back, do you want me to tell you anything, or do you just want to live?
I'm fine to hear it secondhand.
You just don't want to see it?
No.
Okay.
Gnome.
No. That's no spelled GNO.
Yep. Yep.
Anywhere it could happen is what they'll do. But yeah, so the door is in front of you. This door that you were told you were never allowed to go through.
Yes. And she like turns back to Weebles and Wobbles. Are you sure that Mom and Dad won't be mad at me?
We are very much not sure of anything that your parents do. They just tell us to do things and we do it.
Okay. That wasn't very reassuring, but okay. And she opens the door. No opens the door.
Opens the door indeed. So you go into this. Now, also, folks, normally we would have a break around now.
Normally.
However, normally. Do we want to keep doing that, or would we like to keep going? It's only been an hour. I'm
good to keep going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Let us see. Star. And by your powers combined. You are immediately in a location. As soon as you pass the door, it's like you go through a different area. The floors are some sort of like rubberized mat in some places. The walls are some sort of very smooth steel, maybe? You're not sure. Difficult to tell. Tim, you've seen this material before. Like, your parents have worked with it. It's just you don't think you've ever seen enough in one place to constitute a wall of the stuff. Your parents said that they were magically unreactive as a material. This is ominous, you're right. I know we're not supposed to read chat while I'm doing this, but that's a very good one.
Kind of freaky down here.
Yeah.
You want me to lead, or?
Yeah. Can I just like hold on to these little like tassel thingies that you have on can I like hold on while we walk?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
She's gonna do the thing like in My Neighbor Totoro where May just grips, death grip.
Oh. Alright, I'll open that door, yeah.
Slides into the wall noiselessly. Tim, you notice, I think in order to keep your mind from spiraling, your analytical mind is going crazy here. You notice mechanisms in the door, like it's sliding into a pocket in the wall instead of opening to minimize the location of it. You can see in the door jamb there are materials to like sort of deaden sound and airflow and all this other stuff. Nothing that is that would be strange to someone from your, like, all these materials exist. You can make out linens and wools and like various corky tree barks and stuff like that. But again, combined with all this experience, it's alien looking in that it is all together at once. And you do indeed see a new location in front of you. Great. The lights are off, so it is very dark, but obviously both of you have night vision, so that's why you can see it all here. There is emergency lighting. You see doors to your right, and obviously a long hallway in front of you. In fact, I'm going to just up the ambient lighting just for our sake, but know, folks, that this place is very dark.
The darkness.
There you are. There are big doorways, and there are little doorways, and there's these sort of, remember your parents had not invented themselves, but made great use of another person's invention, this sort of like, they call it sodium-powered lamps. It's a salt mixture that fluoresces under the right conditions and lasts for a fairly long time.
I mean, it is very creepy, but it's also like really impressive.
I guess.
I mean, I think it's impressive.
Yeah. Impressive in kind of a creepy way, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Which way?
You can decide. I mean, I do kind of want to like look through every door, but like I know that that's a lot, and I can just like we don't have to.
You want to just look in and peek in every room for starters?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess we'll just keep walking forward, and every door we pass will, at the very least, peek in.
This door here, even though it has a window on the model, doesn't actually have a window. And unfortunately, these doors don't open at your approach. There is something preventing it from doing so.
Sparks, can you figure out why this door is stuck?
Right away. And he walks up and his eyes get he actually goes, it appears a key card is required of some sort of object that allows entry.
Huh.
Can you bypass that? Can you hack the door? Is that a thing you can do?
Like
Not
what,
yet.
with an axe?
I could potentially burn through it, but at the rate that I am currently able to, it will take 2.56666666666.
Round up, buddy.
Wait, unit of measurement.
Years.
Wait, unit of... Oh, okay.
Damn.
Oh yeah, those are really good doors.
Shall I begin? And his tail lights up like an acetylene torch. Just
No, that's okay. We'll find the card, I guess.
very well.
You
know what
sound
this
very
thing we're looking for is?
disappointed. I mean, I have no idea.
Well, look for anything that's a card shaped like a key, I guess. Emery doesn't know what that is.
Yeah,
Oh.
it could be anything.
Nope.
Keep your
Just
eye
start-
out for anything.
We just start throwing random objects at the door until one of them works.
There are lots of crates around you. Looking into them, I assume you do. They're mostly appearing to be materials for more construction of things or materials for alchemy. Tim, you're noticing these things specifically. You're noticing all the components that went into the creation of the material you're currently standing on and walking beside. They're these jars of a viscous fluid that your parents would use, and then they would congeal it into these big sheets. It's just there was never enough for this. They wanted to start making automatons out of this stuff, but they never got the chance.
Does it seem like they were planning to use it to expand the lab, or just build more automata? Or
It's a possibility. It could be for either or, honestly. All of them bear a stamp from a similar company. It looks like the destination or the originating area was Waterdeep.
Emery is just keeping her eyes peeled for anything that's shaped like a key.
Yeah. Taking a brief moment to look into here, you look in and you see, actually, Tim, one of your designs. You had at one point theorized that holding rooms for their own purpose of plumbing was probably a good idea. And so you see your parents have instituted that somehow. There are individual rooms with chamber pots that automatically gravity flush, just like you designed. And there are, of course, wash basins that pump out water from likely a rune spell. There are runes along the side of each tap that probably cast the create water spell. And mirrors and little salt lamps. Going to be rooms
so
dedicated to just that.
they were listening when I was talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
What are
Wow.
these?
It's basically instead of going into a bucket, it deals with all of that for you. It's much more hygienic.
Emery, actually, you would know from your time as a noble, because nobles absolutely would have had gravity flush toilets at this time. They're usually made out of copper and wood, typically, and they have a basin that's high up on the wall, attached with a bit of lead tubing that goes to the toilet in question, and then it just flushes it right outside, usually into a ditch or something.
Yummy. Tasty. Fun shit.
Smell
Anyway.
that. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
As you get closer to this door, You see there's like little signs on a couple of them. The first one that you've come to that has a sign aside from the clearly the washrooms. This one says operating theater.
That's not ominous at all.
Does she have any memory of being operated on?
You're going to have to give me a history check for that.
Cool. Ooh, 23.
23? On a 23, you do remember that your parents, you broke your arm once, and your parents, who neither of them are healing mages, managed to get you into the lab, not this lab, the other lab, and apply their own version of the boo-boo blanket, which you improved upon and made the boo-boo blanket later on.
Yep.
And so that was about as far as it got. As far as you know, neither of them approved of doing surgery for regular things like that. You don't have any memory of being operated on in such an environment.
Yeah, I don't know what they would have operated on in here.
Very clean. Very clean. There's nothing at all that you could imagine being weird in here. There's a couple of implements above the table. There are strips in the wall that are emitting light, but you can tell from the runes on them that they probably also clean the room somehow. You're not sure how. There is a door to the left and a doorway to the right.
Just for shits and giggles, what kind of vibes am I picking up in this room? Can I do a vibe check on just like this entire down here? Like,
it's not, again, it is, the lights are off, everything is sort of like powered down and operating in like limited modes. You're seeing like lights that are not activated right now. Everything is clean, but clearly hasn't been used in quite some time. You remember Tim saying that her parents have been gone for 30 years, I think, Tim, was the number.
No, I think she is 30, she's in her 30s. They've been gone for like 10, 15
like 10 or 15 years, something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood. And so, yeah, so it looked like probably not a living soul's been down here since then. They probably powered everything down and prepared for their journey and come back.
Guess I just don't really know what we'd be finding down here. Tim, when they disappeared, they didn't come down here and then just never came back up, right? They like left the tower and just never came back.
Yeah, they left. They said they had to go to do some trading and stuff like they normally did, and then they just didn't come back.
Not sure what we'd be able to find down here then. Not saying that it's pointless, just I don't know if there's anything we'd be able to learn. I don't want to be a downer,
Well, I think it just is, as scary as it is and as much as I don't like it, I do kind of just want, I don't know, like confirmation, I guess, that everything that we learned is true.
Gotcha. Well, let's keep looking.
Left or right? Which way, Western woman?
Right first?
It is an open doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Down in this hallway, you see something much more of an office-y feel. You see a couple of observation chambers. Tim, again, this is one of your designs. You hypothesized that you could probably, with the right sealing techniques, create a hermetically sealed chamber in which disease and other miasmas and contaminants couldn't possibly pass through. Looks like your parents took that to heart. There is, looking into the window, you can see a couple of devices that you designed too. There is an orb that you designed specifically to like display information depending on what you decide to make the orb to do. and they're very clean-looking rooms. There's also a machine of your father's design. He calls it the Butterball Express. Essentially it's a vending machine. It's a fantasy vending machine. You basically just key in the right runic combinations and it gives you something. And then you've got like pictures of what it can give you on the front.
What kind of stuff is in there?
All good Butterball foods of all sorts here. You have the stuff that her parents like, which are like nutrient-rich, dense foods.
It's just Soylent.
Yeah, there's like nutrient loaf. It doesn't look appetizing. There is nutrient noodles. It doesn't look appetizing. There is nutrient drink, which looks way too thick to actually be drank. And there is, of course, various types of things that we would recognize today as sodas. There's like grape soda and orange soda. There's soda of every flavor. And there's like proper noodles with like MSG and delicious like green onions and stuff like that. That it literally just poofs a bowl down there. It's like create food and water, but a very specific version of the spell.
I want some noodles.
Yeah, we can get a snack.
Butterballs love their noodles. Various types of noodles, all types of noodles. There is a sandwiched layered noodle like cake almost with like it looks
like lasagna.
Well, fantasy lasagna.
I just wanted to make sure that was what you were.
Joey, don't break the illusion.
I'm sorry.
Don't break the illusion.
Fantasy Garfield up in here. Fantasy lasagna.
That's right. But yeah, you key in the runic combinations, and there's your food.
Sick. I'm just gonna have a bowl of noodles in my hands as we're walking around doing this.
Yeah, Tim is gonna eat a plate of lasagna, fantasy lasagna.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, Tim, you're used to literally just putting it down wherever, and it will get taken care of at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what you do with your plate, but I'm sure you can understand what you would do.
Can I just
Pop it on the floor.
No, can I just put it in Sparks?
Yeah, you bring it to Sparks, and Sparks like immediately sits up, like lifts his arms, and his belly opens up this way, and there's like a
dishwasher.
Yeah. Which you'll note doesn't make sense because you know his side opens up and there's a hand in there.
You know,
He's got compartments for days.
Yeah.
You put the plate in and you hear.
What just happened there?
Oh, he's cleaning the plate, and I think also maybe like eating it, because I don't think we're gonna get it back.
All right,
put your plate in there too when you're done.
These are my noodles.
Noodles. You come into what was clearly like a planning room. You see some chairs, once again of your own design. They have little wheels on the bottom of them. It let you do spinnies and do chair races, and your parents have seemingly co-opted it for some sort of office meeting sort of stuff. Deeply unoriginal. There's a fireplace, clearly magical. There's a bookshelf. And there's a thing in the corner, one of those orbs again that typically displays information. Although this one seems to be keyed to communication instead. There is a place in the front, that sort of skull-looking device that opens up, and you can put a piece of like parchment in there, and it will send that parchment somewhere else.
Oh, fantasy fax machine. Is there any, are there any like papers or books or like stuff that might have information about what they were doing, like readily available?
There are a fair bit of books here. They don't seem to be instructional books. Well, like as in like the sort of textbooks you're thinking of.
Yeah.
They seem to be like operational books. Like we did this, then this, then this. The problem is it's all in code, and it was specifically the code that your parents never let you handle. So, it would take a while to decipher these, unfortunately.
Do we want to maybe try the information orb. You know, I actually like invented these basically. Or no,
That's
you
fitting.
said that her dad invented these, not her.
What the
Orbs, the orb information
no,
orbs.
you
That was
invented the
her?
information
Okay.
orbs, yeah, or at least the basic concept of like, hey, we should, those orbs that divination wizards look into to ponder. What if we use them to like display stuff for people who don't ponder stuff, right? And then they just kind of took that.
Yeah, so like I actually came up with a design for these, and she like explains all of the like technical details, and it's all probably very boring to Emery, but and so I think we might be able to use it to like figure stuff out, unless, well, so they like all of their writing is in code, so there might be like a code that we have to give this in order to be able to use it. I mean, there's only one way to find out, I guess.
True.
She pokes it.
The orb here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it spits up. Oh. The most thing it displays is like, there's the gnomish runes for send, there's the gnomish runes for history.
Is it weird to look at the history? Am I gonna get in trouble for that?
Are your parents here?
No.
Fuck them, look at it.
Okay.
I mean, that's why we came down here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The screen expands, and the I can fix things. Apparently I'm a little low. Give me half a second. I can fix this. Oh. How's that, chat? Is that better? I think it might be better. We'll try that. It spools up in history, and it's not very often. It looks like they're not sending things back and forth very much. What seems to be happening is that it's like a sort of regular report sort of thing, because they're all going to the same place. It's a location that you don't recognize the name of, but the end digits are WD in Gnomish, which is of course for Waterdeep.
Of course.
Of course.
Can we look at the, like, is it just the like transaction history, or
Yes.
is it actually, so we wouldn't be able to like read the emails or fantasy mail, electronic
You're
mail?
not normally able to with this setup, you think? Someone has keyed it so that you can't, very specifically, you can't do that. However, you are aware that technically these sort of things do carry a log of that stuff anyway, just in case. At least the way you designed it. So if your parents designed it off your designs and didn't know not to include that part, then there's a key combination you can use to bring back the most recent one.
She punches it in.
The little skull thing at the bottom goes bleh, and it spits. And then you can tear it off. Like a dot matrix, like, yeah, exactly. It is in common rather than gnomish. It's basically a request for confirmation that the client is satisfied with their work and requires them to go and check on their other locations. And then there's a little tiny response at the bottom. Yes, is the answer.
Well, I guess that this is why they left. I mean, I had sort of like gathered that was why they left, but it's good to know for sure.
Yeah. Doesn't really
Okay.
help us figure out where they are exactly, though.
No. Do we want to go check out the other side now?
Yeah, sure.
Leaving the room. Oh, yes, you can, of course. I forgot. You guys can absolutely control minis.
Whee! Tim, what are you doing up there?
Nope.
Tim, that's dangerous!
Tim, get
Tim!
down.
Timothy!
And open.
Ooh, double doors.
Yeah. You see here, there's a little tiny bit of corrosion seeping in from whatever is around the other side of this door. This appears to probably be a little bit of an older section, and the door kind of squeaks a little bit as it pulls open, and you see instead the walls change from being this new material to like an older Tim, you recognize the building type. It is a sort of like leaded alloy of some sort that they used to use to, well, typically everyone else in Faerun who wants to make a shielded area from divination and stuff like that would typically use this leaded alloy. So this is what would be more common if you were to find a very quote-unquote high-tech lab in Faerun. As always, your parents and you are way ahead of the curve.
Ah, fuck, we're in the pyramid head zone. He's gonna pop out of here any minute.
I don't know what that means.
You start seeing industrial shit, that's when he shows up.
Oh,
It's okay, Henry. You haven't once said that you missed your wife, so.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's a Silent Hill joke, don't worry about it.
Don't worry, we're super giant nerds. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're in this area here, and you immediately see like there seems to be some sort of like garbage drop off right here. It doesn't smell great. It smells kind of bad. And then there's a door immediately to your right and a door off to your left.
Guess let's try the right door.
Okay.
You're obviously noticing like what appears to be these things here, which are like obviously like a first pass on those salt lamps. They're still salt lamps, but they're not great. They're very big, bulky. They appear they're hot. You can already tell when you get close to them that they're very hot. And they don't put out as much light. Which door do you want to go through?
The one on the right.
On the right. And through it they go, chat. You enter a large chamber.
Ooh, it's an aquarium.
I knew it. My parents loved fish.
That's pretty fishy if you ask me.
In this ball, you see the torso of a woman. It's Genova. Start the Sephiroth music. You're in an area that seemingly combines a lot of older alchemical tech with some newer stuff. You're seeing like even improved versions of those orbs. They're on the walls here. There's some sort of like crystal designed to be, instead of in a spherical format, designed to be flat. And they are constantly displaying what appears to be some sort of data, mathematical symbols and readouts of some sort. This place looks like it has been slowly upgraded in bits and pieces across the years.
Oh gosh. I think she would immediately go to probably the like main looking workbench in the back. To see if there's any sort of like papers or information of any kind, whatever this big fucking crystal is back here.
Sure.
Etc.
Once you get up here, why don't you make me, I suppose, an Arcana check? What's up, Timothy?
That's a natural one.
Timothy cannot make an Arcana check to save her life. However, you are in your parents' laboratory with Sparks and Emery here. I believe you have the help action. You are allowed to take another one.
I have a +8 to Arcana. I'm not bad at this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was a 19, so 27.
27.
Thank you for giving me advantage on that.
Timothy, you get to you get up to the board here, and you're looking around. Standard alchemical equipment. There's some notes here and there about the proper use. The proper growth patterns is what you're seeing, although the rest of it is really hard to decipher. The crystal, though.
Ooh.
When you draw close to the crystal, it lights a little bit brighter. And it begins to give off a sound.
What's it doing?
It's just sitting there, glowing. Emery, for you, it is just glowing. You're not hearing anything.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I'm gonna walk over there and look at it too. What kind of stone is that?
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah. What is it?
Has she ever seen crystal like this before? Like,
You have not.
use any of it?
No.
I don't know.
You can, however, attempt to quickly decipher some of the labeling you're seeing around you.
What would
Jay, I
that be?
accidentally put myself in the basement.
Emery, folks,
Help!
Emery is gone somewhere.
Help! Help! I'm under the crystal. Thank you.
Is that a check of some kind or just
This is an intelligence check. I don't know what intelligence skill you have proficiency with, but you're allowed to use it for this.
all of them except religion. How about investigation?
Yes, that works perfectly fine.
That's an 18 for a 26.
A 26. This is difficult because you understand there's some knowledge in your head right now that is yours, and there is some that is absolutely from somewhere else.
What does that mean?
You read on the labeling that this is a piece of crystal taken from the Century University near Waterdeep.
Can't use this music cue, man. I'm dying.
What you are feeling, though, with a 27, 26, something like that?
26.
26. Is a feeling of belonging. You are almost, and it's hard to say if you're imagining this or not, but like the words on the pages in front of you start to suddenly make sense immediately as you begin to decipher it. Maybe you deciphered the key and didn't even notice because your brain is that sort of special, right? The words key in and start telling a story. This crystal was delivered by the Patreon.
Patreon.com/
and it immediately solved the problem. This was the room where they originally tried so hard to have their child. And it kept going wrong over and over again until they had this crystal. And even after the crystal was here, they tried lots of things, energizing it, hooking it up to the flask. The clones never survived until they took a little piece. They ground it into powder, and they added it as the reactive material. They don't know where it's from, but it is as far as your parents can tell, a fundamental aspect of the universe.
So does that, I guess when you say like using it as a reactive material, does that mean that it's like, that it was just used to like kickstart the reaction, or is it actually like part of Tim's makeup?
Part of Tim's makeup.
Oh. Huh. I want her to just like reach up and like touch it.
It reacts, it fluoresces, and the sound of those strings kind of increases. And actually, what instrument do you most associate it with TimTam?
Oh goodness. I don't know. I want to say something like,
Something brassy, perhaps?
no, I was gonna say like chimes, or like a small like harp, perhaps.
Probably not a bad idea.
Something like light and bright.
Yeah. The deep strings that you were noticing at first kind of transition into this lighter tune. Very jaunty, very joyful. Very fitting.
Oh. Emery, do you hear that?
Hear what?
Do you not hear like the music?
She kind of like sticks one of her fingers in her ears, is like, no? What are you hearing?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's like there's music coming from the crystal.
I tentatively kind of reach out and put my hands on it. Do I hear anything?
Oh, no.
The Star knows why this is a bad idea, but Emery would not.
This is.
Emery, could you make me a charisma saving throw?
Oh, good. See, Star knows why this is a bad idea. Star does. 14.
No, that's not enough.
Shit. Fuck.
Oh, fuck. We're alone down here. Fuck.
You touch the crystal, and it's like an immediate repulsion. Everything in you wants to just destroy. And the black heart activates. I am going to need the both of you to roll initiative.
Okay! Cool! Cool thing that we're doing now!
6.
12.
That is on.
I'm scared.
Turn this volume down just a little bit when it gets up to here.
Fuck. I love that my two girlies are so diametrically opposed.
Extremely.
Oh no.
Now, the saving grace here, Emery, is that your immediate attention is fixed on the crystal. It is the opposite of everything you are. You need it gone before it causes more problem.
I guess I just take out my sword and start hitting it?
Give me a full round of attacks.
Yep. Okay, so that would be a 1, a 2. Okay, the first one's a 15. The second one is also a 15. The third one is a dirty 20. And the fourth one is, 25.
I think you basically hit all of those. What's your damage like?
6 plus 9, 15 plus 5 is 20. Plus 9, 29 total.
29 total. You smash into the crystal, wailing on it. Chunks of it are flying all over the place. You are trying to destroy it. And at the end of your wailing of physicality, you stop attacking it with the physical, and something red and angry tendrils out of your chest towards the object, and the crystal begins deteriorating as though dying in real time, like it's organic. Tim, your turn.
So a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So she's presumably, because Emery is so focused on this,
Mhm.
Tim still had her hand on the crystal.
Mhm.
Is she okay? Did she get some collateral
Not yet.
damage?
The crystal
Okay.
is the crystal's actively getting like consumed. It's hard to say. It's like it's rotting almost.
Okay.
What do you
I
want to
think
do?
that Tim is deeply upset. No, Emery, what? I think she's gonna like, now that she has felt this belonging and knows that this is like a part of her, I
Mhm.
think that she is fiercely protective of it. I think she's gonna put herself in between Emery and the crystal.
Oh.
You're just going to get in between it. You're not going to do anything else.
Well, I think that that's what she's gonna do. I guess that would be her movement. I would like to. Gosh.
Up to you.
So you said that the crystal seems like it's alive.
Mm-hmm.
This is a stupid thing to do. Does it count as a creature?
It's a good question. It might.
I want to cast Warding Bond on the crystal.
See. Mm. You can.
So that creates a mystic connection between you and a willing creature that I touch until the spell ends. When the target is within 60 feet of me, it gains a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws, has resistance to all damage, but each time it takes damage, you take the same amount. The spell ends if you drop to 0 hit points, if you become separated by more than 60 feet, and I can dismiss it as an action. I think that, I think that she's going to try and protect this crystal that is the only thing that has ever made her feel this like sense of belonging, and that she knows is part of her and that is like integral to who she is. But I think also Sparks is going to come over and also help defend.
Okay, and how is that defense going to look for him?
Can he take, because I know that he has like a reaction where he can protect me. Is there an action can he take the, I guess, the help action maybe to help me on my next if something happens throw? Is that a thing he can do?
Yeah, he can do the help action.
Okay.
All right. Emery.
I went and got cookies because I can't emotionally handle this. Oh, this is new music.
New music.
TimTam reaches out with her magic, and right now, sort of like you're in a sort of beam struggle. there is this sort of like bright purple tether between Tim and the crystal and the bright red tether, and they're vying on the crystal itself. Your attacks together are all going to be translating there unless you believe you would attack Tim herself.
I mean, given this information, I don't think that she would. I don't think she sees Tim as a threat right now. Let me check something. I'm reading my thing for the black heart. Do I get to re-roll the wisdom save?
Not yet. Not for this particular instance. You're going to need some outside help for that, I think.
Oh, good. I guess I'm just gonna keep wailing on it then. All right, more attacks. Yep. First one is a 12. The second one is
actually the first one needs to be rolled with disadvantage because of sparks.
Okay, well then I'll just because I just rolled the second one, so we'll just say that those two were advantage and or were disadvantaged. So that is a 12. So then this 23 I rolled does not count.
Right.
So the second one is a 10. The third one is a 14. The fourth one is a 22.
The 14 and the 22 hit.
Okay, so that's 2 attack. Okay, then that is 5 for the first hit. 7 for the second, so that's 12 all told.
Okay.
And it has resistance because of the warding bond, right?
That's true, so you'd only do 6. Yeah. So that's good. That means only 35 damage in total has been done to this, but you see the crystal is starting to like the bright red, angry, sort of veiny lines are pushing into TimTam's side of the crystal. Anything else you'd like to do? I don't know how much is there, to be honest.
That's all my actions and my bonus action, so I don't think there's much of anything else I can do.
Okay. Tim.
It doesn't seem like I'm able to reach her like with my voice.
You don't know, you haven't tried.
I mean, I sort of yelled at her as I was.
Yelled at her very briefly, but you could try something else. Whatever you're thinking of.
Yeah, I think that I would just be like, no, stop. This is important. It's good. You can't just. Does it seem like anything is?
Do you want to make an insight check?
Yes.
Go for it.
That's a natural 20 for a total of 20.
A total of 20. Way to go. Everybody's acting on instinct. She needs something to jar her out of it. She clearly can't feel how good this crystal is. Maybe you have to show her.
What does that mean?
You are currently literally attached to it.
Yeah. So what am I feeling as I'm attached to it?
Just joy and music and the things about life that you enjoy. But you know what? You roll a nat 20 and I gotta respect it. The first thing that comes to your mind is the nice things that come with a hug. You're remembering that hug on Velasso that first time with the whole group.
Yeah, I think, can I, using this connection, this like sort of like life essence connection that I have with this crystal, can I use that to cast Cure Wounds on her and just like reach towards her and just like, I don't know, because she has a sword out, I don't know if I'm able to actually give her a hug, but I'll at least like reach out and
I mean, you're little, you could just like run up and grab her waist.
It's true. Like her sword.
Okay, yeah, that is perfect. Yeah. Then being little, just run up, hug her, and cast Cure Wounds. Fuck it, at second level. That's my second spell slot.
If this does not work, she'll be able to hit you automatically with critical. You are risking things here. I just want to be clear. But you did roll a 20, and you are fairly certain this is the way to go.
Yeah, I think she's gonna run up, give her a hug, and just sort of like burying her face in your clothes, just be like, please. Please. And that's 12 points of healing.
12 points of healing.
If that means anything.
Tim, I want you to roll me a persuasion check.
Actually, it does mean something because I was at 9 HP before. We never healed after the circus fight.
That's funny.
Persuasion. With the help action, I get to...
Sure.
Because I have a -3.
Okay. This is more about what you get than how high you get.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. -3.
So 10.
It's a 10, and chat has been screaming about their inspiration that they want to give you. And so for this one, chat, do a single roll of my DM dice to see what your influence is on this. I mean, it's not exactly a 20.
But it's pretty damn
you
close.
see, that would be a crit depending on
if
who
you're
you're
rounding
talking
up.
to. Yeah.
Right. Memory, you're deep in the throes of the anger of the Black Heart. But just off to the corner, you spot that figure that has been appearing every once in a while throughout your adventure. Just sitting and observing as Tim rushes in for a hug. Let's see. When you were floating in the astral sea and your life had been taken, and it was your afterlife was about to be taken, you tapped into something with your very mortal anger that kept you going, helped you survive. It's a hard thing to let go of, but for the past couple of months, you've been traveling with people who have been, in some ways, more... They've shown you that maybe that was just a run of bad luck. And you almost come to consciousness with this little person crying into your waist and screaming about this crystal, and you see what you're doing, this red barb coming from your chest, angry. You know it for what it is. For some reason, you know it's anathema. You can't hear a word. It is the antithesis of sound. It is a singular point, dead and unmoving. And for a moment you falter, and Tim's purple light rebounds from her into the crystal and back, striking you in the chest. And you feel lighter than you have since this adventure started. There is a thud on the ground as a dark-colored orb that looks like a singularity leaves your chest. You are unburdened from the Black Heart as Tim cleanses you with the power of the planar cord.
Ow.
And it's
Oh.
that exact moment with a swirl of magic behind all of you. A gateway opens up and the smell of autumn leaves. And almost riding on a cavalcade of thorny vines, Vernon and Rathgirther tumble out of the Feywild. And Vernon goes, "See, I told you I'd get us here."
Emery's just like, I imagine she probably fell over and all that. She's just laying on the ground and just looking like, oh, good.
Tim fell with you and is just like, still just like wrapped up. Or has you wrapped up, rather.
And so with the
Okay.
scene of your friends tumbling out of the Feywild together in a spill of leaves and vines, the two of you sharing a moment on the ground here, and the ominous non-sound, deep and rumbling, although it could not possibly have any sort of vibration, this anathema crystal sits on the ground between you two. And that is where we're going to end it for this month.
Okay. I love a casual exorcism. Just
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Goodness, folks. Some lore happened, some PvP happened a little tiny bit. We are, of course, not done, so don't go anywhere. What we are going to do, though, is we didn't take a break. So we're going to take a very short break, about 5 minutes or so. Meet us back here with your questions, please. We would love your questions. It has been since last year, a whole year we haven't seen you. Please don't shake your hand at me. So we are feverishly awaiting all of your questions. Gnome questions. So don't go anywhere, but also stand up and take a break yourselves and meet us back here in about 5 minutes.
And that's how whales communicate. Anyway.
All right. Welcome to the couch. We're all cozy on our couch. Well, Emery is not on her usual couch.
Oh shit,
however,
I forgot my couch. I forgot my couch. Oh god, I've abandoned my boy.
It's the father help.
I abandoned my boy.
The only point of being a VTuber is supposed to be that you can do that.
Shut up, I'm on my couch.
Exactly. Congratulations. I'm going to close this off. Let's add something nice and flowy to the background, shall we?
I swear to God, if it's the do music again.
I should do the Under the Sea jingle.
No.
No. I hate that we had to download that for a different game, and I hate that you still have access to that.
How about we just do that, and I'll lower it a little bit.
Sure, why not? It's a little intense for a Q&A, but
so we can hear myself think.
A little electro hip hop. Hey, come here and do what I tell you to. There you go. I don't know if the audience will be able to hear that, but it'll be fine. Regardless, this is where we are going to answer your burning questions, and of course questions from the couch at each other and me, most likely. So what we're going to do is you're going to ask a question in front of your question, so I see it and I can read it. I won't be able to answer all of them, but we'll find ones we can, and we'll go to it. Now,
we've already got several.
We've already got several because the mods are doing great. Once again, everybody, please thank the mods. Box, Parents in my bio. Both of them are great, and they have been doing their best to shepherd all of us while I can't do anything because I am both the DM of the show and a dum-dum. So, we are going to start off with, we always like to start off with a question from the couch here. Couch, do you have any questions for each other or for me?
I don't know if it's a question, but I have a comment.
Is it what the fuck?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would be a question.
I have connected the 2 dots!
there are connections? Yeah.
So many people in the chat were like, oh my god, purple crystal, like Verity. And I'm like, yes, exactly like my other daughter. Yes, thank you. Thank you for noticing my other daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
Very much. Yeah. Is there anything else that we would like to comment on or question or?
How bad would Emery have felt if she killed TimTam? Like on a scale from 1 to 10.
I mean, not for nothing, but the health of that crystal was getting real low.
Yep.
I mean, she would not have enjoyed it.
Well, that's good.
That encounter was a little bit more skewed towards the crystal side of things than anything else, but regardless, Emery is able to do a huge amount of damage, which is why I did that. So would have been bad. All right, move into questions from the audience. From Kevin Ragland, question: this is really random, obviously. If you could give any random object, second random, sentience, which would you choose? In the game or in real life? Interesting. You know which ones I wouldn't want to give sentience, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easier question than what you would. Because, here's the thing. I live alone and I like it that way. So.
Yeah.
I think any, decor, pictures, anything that its job is to just, sit. Because I don't want to,
and be pretty, yeah.
Yeah, nothing that, nothing that you have there that there's a lot of touching, because that seems like an invasion of privacy and an issue of consent. So
yeah, maybe my bed, because think of it from terms of having a little bit of neurodivergency here. Like anybody, sometimes I don't change the sheets on the regular. And so that's kind of bad. And then I notice, but I'm already in bed and getting sleepy. So I'm just like, I'll do it tomorrow. But if my bed was sentient, then it'd be like, hey, this is gross. Can you change me? And I'd be like, yes, of course. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Of course I'll change you. That, basically guilt me into doing my chores,
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, I just came up with a funnier one.
Yeah.
Imagine like a Roomba or like a vacuum or something.
A Roomba.
Mhm.
Yeah, a vacuum cleaner is like
Maybe it would get stuck in the corners less
True.
if it was sentient.
Look, you could
no, it
tell-
would just
you
be
could-
like, hey, I'm stuck.
Hey!
Get me.
Hey!
Yeah.
My Roomba ran out of batteries underneath because it got stuck under the side table in my guest room like a year ago. And
Mm.
I just never went and got it because it was a pain. And it's still there. That's where it lives
horrific.
now.
That's horrific.
That's where it lives now.
But I like your answer because also while it's in operation, all you hear is as it
Yep, very
scoots along
disruptive.
there. Yeah. Question from IDK Jaycorn. Yeah, it's me. With what power did you say TimTam cleansed Emery's black heart with? The planar chord. Chord with a CH. Don't worry about it. You'll learn a lot about it later, and or if you want to read anything that Star has posted on Verity, you'll know.
Watch for the D&D video that I'm gonna be putting out sometime later on this spring. They will go
Absolutely.
into some of that.
Yeah. Question from Loner Evie. So is this the same crystal thing that Verity is connected to, ergo making Tim and Verity related joke? Or Verity and Emery faded rivals? Yeah, kind of, sort of. We were making jokes that Verity keeps collecting children.
Well, that's the thing, because the crystal has this bad habit of like creating life, and so like it's not her fault that she keeps accidentally having kids.
Let's run down a list of Verity's children in chronological order. Number 1, TimTam. Number 2, Sphinx named Masha in our other campaign, who's just kind of a dick. 3.
How dare you?
You're gonna look at me in the eyes and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
Masha is perfect. You can do no wrong.
You are constantly annoyed with that cat.
Yeah, so you have seen how I treat my cats.
True, you do talk about putting them in the oven a lot.
Yeah.
Number 3, a stick. Does Vale count as number 4? Not technically, but like the fantasy blood transfusion was a thing that happened.
You're like her stepmother now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
You're Vale's stepmother now.
Sure, let's go with that.
Sure. Lunar Evie coming in with another question. Is knowing what the black heart and the crystal exactly are spoilers, or are we allowed to know in terms of specifics? Because I still don't really fully understand them. It's not really spoiler. Because there's really no way for you as the audience to understand what it is without engaging with all of our screaming on the side, really. Just as a very quick overview without getting into too much of it, the crystals, the purple one, are physical manifestations of a thing that I call the planar chord, which is literally like the music of creation. I'm a very Tolkien-coded boy. And so this music creates life. And so it drops these crystals all over the place. And the biggest concentration ever was on Verity. That's kind of the whole
My other
impetus.
character.
Yeah. And whereas the black heart is formed from the very singular crystal of anathema, which is supposed to be the opposite of the planar chord. It is everything the planar chord is not. It is stillness. It is death. It is destruction. It is nothing. That is the whole point of it. More lore. Hawkverse is asking, Star, is Verity's newest goal to find her long-lost gnome daughter, or not her, if you will?
I don't think she knows about the gnome daughter.
Not her.
She would not know this at all. She would not know this.
That's true. She would not know this at all. Nope.
I mean, I'm sure that if she found out, she would be very, intent on that. But right now, she is ignorant of that concept.
Pardon me. Supernova Blade coming in with the ever so classic Jay, what the hell? Thank you. Appreciate it. I needed it. Medmath coming in with 20 gifted memberships. Hi, Medmath. Thank you so much. Jared and Medmath both tag teaming to make sure that everyone in this chat has a membership. IDK is asking another question. How does the backstory building work? Does the PC say a character ID and the DM write the ins and outs of the story, or sort of? Yeah. Every character gives me a certain amount. Every player, pardon me, gives me a certain amount that they want their characters to be kind of cemented into. And we go back and forth even after the character creation process. Be like, hey, we didn't really run across a specific instance. Could this be true about this? I always err on the side of what the players want. However, with what the players originally give me, I will make a whole story with. And that way, if they don't have a good answer, I say, well, I've already got something written for this. If you would like, I can use it. And if they don't like it, then I gotta change it. And I do. And it happens sometimes. That's fine. This is the way it is to be DM. Don't worry about it. My delete box is full of old storyline.
Listen, just save them and recycle them later.
I've seen narratives you wouldn't imagine.
So dramatic. Actually, because this was actually, I'm curious now. Potential alternate universe, because we originally talked about using the crystal cord stuff on Emery.
That's
'Cause
why
Emery-
I talked about it.
Yeah, because how would that have played out then? Because originally Emery was going to be my crystal tiefling with like the obsidian crystal horns,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up vetoing that for a couple different reasons that were on my
So-
end. But
Do you remember Dark Verity stuff?
yes, we have not talked about that publicly, and I have not talked about that publicly.
That's why I used the name. I don't want to go any further into it, but that's sort of what's happening there. We can talk more after the cameras are down, but yeah, get your brain spinning on that. You know,
I mean, I kind of figured that. I was more going into like, was Emery's storyline originally going to be similar to what Verity's ended up being, or was it always going to be like a darker thing? Was she always going to be associated with anathema more than anything else?
I think she was always going to be associated with anathema more than anything else.
Okay.
To be fair, I hadn't sharpened anathema into the concept that it is currently until one of Zoe's other characters, Astrid. So
Sorry. I accidentally made the thing that's all that is
fucking up
bad.
like every campaign.
This is how it evolves, though, right? Like, so for instance, we had Verity, and I had what I wanted to do with Tim. So I had the thing I wanted to do with Verity, or whatever character you were going to do in this campaign. You vetoed to not do that, but I still had the concept, so I put a little bit of it in Tim because it made sense for Tim because I was always going to conjoin the two. And then you eventually did Verity, and I was like, perfect. We'll do the crystal arc, and this will be that. And that sharpened that whole thing. But I knew I needed an opposite. I needed it. So I wrote one. I just didn't, and I knew it was, at that time, like, I knew it sort of touched Emery, at least. And then as you played into it more, I was like, okay, well, now it has to be a bigger thing at some point, so I made sure to write it into the story. And then it kept being a thing in other campaigns that kept looping into the crystal story. And so I was like, well, okay, now this person's got it, and now this person's got to have it, and now this person's got to have it. And then along comes Astrid with this perfect crystal, and I was like, that makes too much sense. I'm gonna solidify this into this. We're gonna work it into that, and that's how it's gonna work.
Collaborative storytelling.
That's what collaborative storytelling is. Be ready to be flexible, right? Because also, not for nothing, but if this session had ended and both players were like, hey, I kind of didn't like that happened, I would roll it back. Of course I would roll it back. Why wouldn't I? It's just if you're running a game, if you're playing in a game, be open to the idea that this is collaborative. You do something that another player doesn't like, talk about how a different way would go or why you made the decision and see if there can be a compromise. Like, this is what storytelling is. Question from Boo Wildering. Great name. What is going to happen to the Black Heart now? It did just fall onto the ground. Does that mean Emery can use it as an object now, or what?
Great question.
What a great question.
Just put it in the backpack. Just keep that.
Put it in the dog.
I was gonna say put it into Sparks, and then I was like, no.
And now Sparks has the soul hole.
Hey guys, remember that cautionary movie, Don't Make the Hate Matrix? sticks the hate
We've
crystal
made the
into the
hate-
dog.
It was inspired by the movie Do Not Make the Hate Matrix, and we've made it.
From Red Rex, question: does Emery still have her berserker mode now that the soul hole is gone? Unfortunately, no. Emery is now just your average devil woman.
I've been nerfed. I can't believe this shit.
Yeah.
You have wings now.
I've been nerfed. I can't make like 8 attacks in one turn now.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but you also don't try to kill your friends anymore, so like
Yeah, well.
Question from Loner Evie. Oh, were Emery's sclera black because of the black heart? Because it's gone? Are her eyes normal now? That's up to Star, but I think her sclera were black because she's a devil.
Yeah,
she's like a literal devil. Yeah,
her sclera were black well before I ever found out about the black heart thing being a thing. So
yeah,
she's just looks like that.
Yep. Question from Jared. Listen, I know why you're asking this question. For Jay, how many of your games have crystal focused elements or characters? All of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. And if I may, there is a unifying principle between all of those two.
You turn that fucking music off right now. Did you not scar us enough with that shit yesterday? Jesus Christ.
See, that's incidentally, for those of you who don't know what just happened, I have been Pavloving my characters to react a certain way to that key. So I will,
which is
and you will
wild
all
because that's
find out
like
later.
that is also thematically appropriate
Mm-hmm.
to
Very
that.
For anyone who
I
has been
love
reading
it.
my Lapis storylines, that's grandmother's musical sting.
It is.
Whenever he starts talking about her.
or anything
Can
related
I drop
to
a
her,
link
yeah.
to that?
Yes,
I feel like I
go for
should
it.
drop a link
Please,
to
please,
that.
please. All of my campaigns that I run professionally, and that I run on stream here, all of my campaigns in general that are in this setting, they all share some common themes, so that everybody in them can theory craft and feel like they're part of a larger world. It makes everything feel so much more alive, and I've always loved it. Also, my brain can't not do it, so I just do it. Hey, speaking of which, question from Lil Cilia Nightmare. How long will this campaign go? Until I kill them. No,
Hey!
it'll go on until everyone and basically this particular season that we're calling it, this storyline with these characters, it'll go on for as long as the players want to play with these characters. And as soon as we hit, like, we start to get to a point where everyone's kind of running out of steam, where they think they're kind of like not much other hills to climb with these characters, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go again. We're gonna make new characters, and we're gonna go again. And maybe I won't be the DM next time. Maybe, who knows? Who could say? We'll figure it out. But the show is gonna keep going, because we're gonna be doing this for as long as we can, because we love this. So as long as you're around for the ride, I don't see it ending. So
We're vibing.
So make
chat.
sure to subscribe now so that 20 years
Yeah.
in the future, when we're still doing this, you will continue to
Yeah.
get the notifications.
yeah, and if we manage to stay in the same setting for some wild reason, because the stories keep going, we keep doing it once a month. Then maybe they'll be level 12 by then. And we'll be
We're
like
only
in
level
our-
6. It's been 3 years.
and all of you will know you'll be along for the whole ride. You'll all know this deep lore, and every new person that comes in goes like, why is everyone freaking out at the mention of a banana? I don't understand. Yeah.
Banana Lord, the connections.
Medmass, great atmosphere in the lab, great use of music in the episode. Thank you. The music choices are all from Epidemic Sound. They provided I pay a subscription, which I do. They allow us to use their music on here. Amazing bunch of artists that offer up their stuff for use on streams like this. Please go check out Epidemic Sound. Honestly, there's so many great. Jump York I used more than once today, for instance. I'm using somebody called BMF, I believe, right now for this sort of like horror hip hop, which I didn't realize was a thing until I ran it for my Strahd game last week. This was great stuff. And the lab itself was, of course, made by somebody in the community, in the Tailspire community. Everyone gets together on a couple of sites and uploads their maps and says, here, for those of you who don't have time to make your maps, I've spent 300 plus hours making this really cool lab map, and I took it and I made some changes to this one, obviously, to make it a little less futuristic. It was a full cyberpunk map, and I kept some things and I threw some things out. That's how that worked. All collaborative. Slyfox. Question, was the little skull in the chamber a nod to Dave? It was not, but I left it in there because I love Dave so much. So
Dave.
You will all hear about Dave, especially if you follow those links that Star just put down.
Hey.
Oh, this is not a bad question. MetaMath is asking, what are everyone's dice superstitions? Switching after a bad roll, keeping the lucky one aside for important rolls, that sort of thing.
Sorry, I just put a cookie in my mouth.
I think that they are silly. I am not a very superstitious person. I think that it's silly, but I'm not gonna I don't judge people for doing it, but I don't do it.
Mhm.
I have a little ritual that I like to do where I pour all my dice into my dice tray, and then I put them so that the highest thing they can roll is facing up, and I put them all in a little line to keep them organized. And so that way, it trains them to want to land on those high numbers.
Yeah. You gotta train them like pets,
Mm-hmm. It's sending all the energy into all the 20 roll energy, and it's the dice is settling, all the energy is settling at the bottom with the 20 on top. So it's the fate is weighting the dice. Listen, I rolled a natural 20 on a really important roll yesterday, and I did this, and I also rolled a 2 and a 3 earlier in this session. So who knows if work
almost like it's like an equal chance for all rolls to happen.
Almost.
No, that sounds fake.
That sounds fake. I'm a Warhammer player, and so that means that if we don't respect the dice, we lose all the time. However, I was also fortunate enough to be the unlucky Warhammer player, so I would roll an inordinate amount of ones. Just a mathematically impossible amount of ones would happen by BS. So much so that sometimes when I would touch another player's dice, that dice would roll a 1. And so it got to be known that you do not allow Jay to hold your dice. And so while I do believe that there is a capricious dice god, Nuffle, incidentally, if you play Warhammer, you know who Nuffle is. While I do believe that there's a capricious dice god, I have long since learned to completely disregard it, because I will either get a good roll or I won't, and it's not up to me. So that's that.
Also, I just looked it up because I did roll 3 10s in a row,
Mhm.
which is a 0.0125% chance of that happening. So
Wow.
True, but you could say that for literally any combination of 3 dice rolls.
Yeah, but those exact numbers happening in a row.
Yeah, well, it would also be the exact same odds as 10, 11, and 12 happening all in a row.
Yes.
Statistics are silly.
I think that it's funny that I am disproportionately, wildly lucky to hit the exact average scoring score.
We have a player I play a little Warhammer RPG, TTRPG every Thursday night with a bunch of people. Off stream, nothing big. And we have a player, we play on Roll20. We have a player who consistently rolls 88. A lot. So much that we have put in tickets to the Roll20 guys being hey guys, you're a dice roller? You should see our logs. It is wild. We could almost call it every time she's gonna roll an 88. And it is, oh boy. Moving on with more questions, just so we don't get bogged down. We're very close to the end here. The coolest cookie. Question. What have Henry and the Gnome Bots been up to while the trauma was happening? You'll have to find out next time.
Cookie science.
They've been doing cookie science. And the problem is Henry also doesn't know how to make cookies.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
I think we also found that like Tim's cookies weren't very good. I don't know that any of the butterballs can make cookies.
No, I don't think so. I think the only one of the butterballs who has tasted and loved sugar is TimTam.
Aww.
I mean, all the robots do, but that's because they're mostly TimTam's design. Weird Kid 361 question: will Masha the Sphinx be in Star's D&D video, or do they appear after the cutoff? They appear after the cutoff, unfortunately.
Well, after the cutoff,
Yeah,
Masha's like
they're-
a fairly recent thing, and the D&D video ends within the first 6 months of the campaign,
Masha
and
was
we've been playing it for 2 years now.
was a replacement familiar.
Can't believe you betrayed Voltaire the owl.
Listen.
Betrayal, and now you have a sassy cat who keeps showing us deep lore.
Let's see here. There is nope. Not what I'm looking for. If anyone wants to, damn it, I have somebody that I use as inspiration, and I can't remember their name for the life of me because they usually come up in shorts. It is a very funny Arabic comic that I've been following for quite some time now, and he is just so goddamn dry on his delivery, and it makes me crack up every single time.
Is that what you use for your Masha voice inspiration?
Absolutely. He drops his tenor down really low, and he keeps the tenor, and he goes, "Hey, you there?" And it's perfect. It's perfect. I could not think of anything other than a cat when I saw him. Anyways, I'll figure it out later. I'll try to post it in the What's Left of Us part of Star's channel for you guys.
Yeehaw.
Jared's asking for Jay. Can you share more lore on the planar chord? I asked for reasons. Sure, I can. Next question.
Rude.
Boo Wilder is asking, what's the cloaked figure? You probably weren't around originally, but we started this on just Twitch, right? Because I wasn't streaming on YouTube at that point because Twitch hadn't done a lot of the stuff that had made us all leave Twitch. And so there was a lot more chat interactivity. And one of the things I thought that would be really interesting that I hadn't seen done in a lot of other actual plays was having you guys affect the world. And so whenever the chat had like saved up enough points to affect our story, they would appear. Chat would appear as the choir, etc. In our little Greek tragedy, which I love. So that's what they are. Let's see here. While I'm looking for more questions, do you two have any that have been spurred on by any of these? Actually, yeah. No.
What are we gonna do with the fucked up crystal? Amory just shoves it back in and goes, well, that was weird.
We should shoot it into the sun. And that's how Astrid gets it.
We should take this fucked up crystal and push it somewhere else.
I will tell you, this is after Astrid has had it.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
Temporal shenaniganery.
Which is much easier to pull off in the Astral, by the way. There are parts of the Astral that time just does not deal well with.
I feel like I'm looking at the list of questions and I feel like I see one that I want to answer that we haven't yet.
Okay.
Rose asks, what is everyone's favorite thing that it's made its way into multiple games? And I'm just like, my daughter! References to my baby girl! Every time it happens, I'm just like,
I don't know if it's cheating to give the same answer, but like anytime that we see an automaton and it has the like butterball, like this is a butterball automaton, it's like, that's for my girly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like anytime anything related to these crystals come up, I'm just like, listen, Jay made that originally, and then I yoinked it. It's my thing also now because of my baby daughter, my little baby Verity, who I love so much.
I have never once clocked a trope onto somebody so quickly and completely as I did when Star was like, "Hey, I want to make a character from What's Left of Us. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Crystal Tiefling." And she was like, "No," and I'm like, "Really?"
Listen, I put it in my back pocket, and then like a year later, when you were like, "Hey, I want to start a second game with most of the same people," I was like, "Crystal baby girl."
Yep. Incidentally, rip poor Mildo. We wanted Mildo to be part of that campaign as well, but obviously
Aw.
we're the way we are because poor Mildred doesn't have a lot of time. Mildred's so busy. They've been putting out videos like, wow, instantly. I'm gonna do another shout out a little later on when we're done. But like, go watch Thoughts Live. Go watch Kitty's Dinner. Go watch.
No, shut up.
Go watch Scaredy Cats. Like, Mildred does really good work. You know, and she deserves your attention. Jared Saywater is asking a pretty good one that I think I would like to end on, unless again it spurs more questions from the couch here. For everyone, what have been the most standout moments for everyone from this game so far? And this is a little bit hard because, of course, the nature of stories means that as we keep going forward and the stakes keep getting higher and higher, the moments are going to keep getting more impactful and beautiful and like scary and all these other things. So it's gotta be from What's Left of Us, though.
Yeah, I think for this one, I mean, the one we just did was pretty great. But I think aside from that one, I think one of the bigger ones was absolutely Vernon, like, quote, sacrificing himself to save Emery and like do the thing with the Archfey. Like, that was, I was fucked up about that one in the like spinning thoughts around. Yeah.
yeah. And that
spinning thoughts around like in a microwave hot dog.
It's wild because that was sort of something we cooked up because Ron was going to have to go for a bit because he just got a new job. We didn't know what his new schedule was going to be. So we wanted a way for him to be gone for a bit without it being weird. And as it turned out, he only needed to be gone for like an episode. So good stuff. But at the same time, like we were like, okay, so we can make sure this works. All you got to do that I want to make sure it's still got some chance left to it. You got to fight to a certain point here. If it gets to a point where it's got to be something else, we'll figure that out on the fly. But we'll do this. And then I saw the moment, I had him yoink me, and away he went. Perfect, flawless, no notes. Beautiful story. It was a great example of two people going, okay, this has to happen. Let's figure out how it can happen, and then make a story about it. And everyone loved it. So that's good.
I think a lot of I think like the group hug, obviously is like
group hug is great. The one on Veloso, yeah.
Peak, yes. Peak, get it. I think also I'm like biased in this, but I think TimTam's like realization that her parents are alive and have just not come back. A lot of the parental trauma, like it's good. It's good character stuff.
It is good character stuff. Yeah. It's hard, especially as the DM, right? Because I get to see everyone's moments, and I get to like push to facilitate those. That's my whole job. If you're a game runner, your whole job, and the reason why you have to be so flexible, is because your big overarching story is the vehicle, but it has to play second fiddle to what the characters want. So your job is to make that vehicle smoosh into the metaphor falls apart here, smoosh into the right size and shape for what the players want, right? And so, yeah, you might have started off with a nice sporty coupe, but in the end, you might end up with a minivan with like a pizza throwing turd on the top because your characters wanted that. Who knows? So, like I said, the metaphor. I'm claiming it back. I'm claiming back the metaphor. So the problem is that means that every one of my favorite moments were always ones where I know and I can feel the other player really sync with it, right? like that moment in the swamp where Ron got to be in the spotlight and do something impactful for his character, that all of the players then acted their asses off the next episode with that sort of bit there. That moment in the circus with Rathgurther where she kind of like has her realization moment and goes through this idea where it's okay for her to be who she is, because I threw a curveball that Mildred wasn't expecting, and Mildred rolled with it in a very satisfying way. Anything I do to torture Star is beautiful. I love it.
Hey.
Hey. Any of the reveals, any of the big impactful scene, like anime style moments that I throw to Star, I know she's gonna knock it out of the park and just also like eat it up. Like that's what she loves. It's what she loves to do.
I love the drama.
It does, and so that's the big part there. And obviously anything to do with Zoe kind of like being a part of the world, locked into it, a big revolving focal point. All of my players, everyone in every single campaign. That's my favorite part. Yeah, Kermery is actually my favorite.
No! Shut up! Kill you.
I know, right?
You'll die.
Yeah. Okay. We have been here for a long time. It is almost 5 o'clock. My time. Which means it's time for me to go because I am eepy and I wish for food and I need my brain to cool down from having a whole universe in it. So, folks, our next episode will be February 28th. Literally the 31st to the 28th, the last days of the month. This is our year, chat. This is it. We are on February 28th. Be here or don't be cool.
Be here or be squeer.
Be squeer. You don't want to be squeer. It's a weird word.
Don't be squeer.
We squeer.
It's like a square, but it's a squeer.
Let's start out with the players who are here. Star, why don't you tell the kind folks where you can find yourself?
Hi, I am the starfish face pretty much everywhere. I am on YouTube. I make silly videos. I have a webcomic called castoff-comic.com. That is the website where you can read it on for free. Castoff's 10th anniversary is coming up soon, so that's cool. I have a store where I sell lots of D&D related things. Thestarfishface.com. I make a webcomic. I also have a book about making webcomics called How to Webcomic that you can buy on the aforementioned store. I've been on hiatus since the start of the year because I'm eepy, but I'm going to be getting back to like videos and comics and stuff here relatively soon. So keep an eye out for those. Wow.
Zoe?
Hi, I am Zoe B. You can find me on YouTube at Zoe B. Just put Zoe B, be like the insect, in the search thing and it'll come up. That's the only place where I exist on the internet. I haven't posted a video in a while because I was EP and took a break, and turns out taking a break for a little while is good for your brain.
Wow, what?
So I will be back probably, I think, in a couple of weeks. I'm working on my next video as we speak. Literally, I have it in a window on my computer. So that'll be happening soon. So make sure to subscribe so that you know when that happens.
Perfect. I'll do our cast members who aren't here. I already talked about Thought Slime, so let's talk about Thought Slime. Mildred runs a channel called Thought Slime, and also a channel called Scaredy Cats. Thought Slime is a video essay focusing on social issues and politics, and Scaredy Cats is a video essay and sort of, I guess, semi-critique, I suppose, channel about, although it's not, Mildred would be the first person to say it's not overly serious, about, although again I'm gonna get a how dare you later, about horror media and various other stuff like that. And it, again, both are genuinely very good. I really honestly suggest you go and look for those. The links are in the chat right now. That is Mildred Thoughtslime. As for Ron, you can find Ron several places. I know he's on the Blue Skis. I know he is. I know he is obviously on YouTube as just a little guy pod. He makes the show Just a Little Guy. I think it's on hiatus right now because Ron is also working like 2 other jobs, and his car keeps exploding. And like poor Ron has had a really bad run of luck at the end of this last month. So please go and check out all of his links and see about what you can do to show him some love. He's a really great guy, and you should check out his stuff. On the opposite end of the fringe, you have me, who's a Scrungulus. I am Jaycorn. Welcome to my channel. I do nothing but this TTRPG stuff. I used to do some other things. You might find some of my other work on the channel here. Again, as always, I will point out that I am intending on doing other work, but I also have other jobs. For instance, I run, I do professional RPG running. So when I open up another slot for an RPG, keep watching all my channels. You will know from the Discords and from start playing under my name, same icon and everything. You'll be able to see it. That I am running something, and you can maybe hire me to run a game for you. Who knows? Who could say? Wow. The coffee link that you're seeing up on here is how very specifically you support the channel. Everything you send to that coffee link is spread out throughout the channel. It covers the production, it covers paying the mods, it covers paying us whenever we do get that much anyway. And it covers things like the Epidemic Sound subscription and all this other stuff. So we thank you all for your patronage in that particular way. That's a very good way to make sure that we are doing well. Aside from, of course, liking and subscribing. Like the video, please. Please.
Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Destroy that bell.
That's right. That bell is made of cord crystal, and you're anathema, and you want to
No, don't do that.
In addition to all of those things, of course, speaking of the fact that the coffee is used to pay our mods, please check out our mods. Slyfox and Put in my bio, Sam. Wonderful creators in their own right. That's why I'm asking you to check them out. They both craft things, and they do some work on the side for streaming. I know Sam, for instance, is a wonderful game runner in his own right, and does a little bit of streaming every once in a while. And so please double check that. If that's not working, I don't know, Sly, I don't know why it doesn't do that for you, but I should have a Discord. I don't know why my Discord link isn't popping up. Wow.
Jay, fix that bot.
I did. I don't know why. See, it's working for me. It says it's supposed to work for the mods. It says it's supposed to work for everybody, actually. So I will pop a Discord link for my Discord in chat. If you folks want to find out where Star's Discord is, it's in a super special place.
You have to hunt it down.
You have to hunt it down. So please.
Only cool kids with Google Foo are allowed into mine.
That's right. You are? Amazing. Hold on. I was gonna say there's like
We are professionals.
We are professionals. It's not letting me just copy the link. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to find, listen, look up the fun pit run by Jaycorn on your communities.
It is in the description of this stream.
It is still in the description of the stream as well. So like
that might be the easiest place to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a professional. I do this for a living.
Yeehaw.
Folks, on a last note before we get out of here, the beginning of this year has been pretty terrifying for a lot of people. We could tell you to go and donate to the ACLU. We could tell you to go and donate to the LA wildfires charities. What would be best from what we are seeing is you should look up local queer-led organizations and give them as much support as possible. Because things are getting bad and they need support. They don't have to be bad. We can make it not bad as much as we can anyway. Yeah, support each other. That's all. Okay? Next time when we come in, February, we're going to see if we can hunt down some local organizations that could use help, the same way we've done before, like when we supported the Texas Oh my god. Never mind. We supported a couple of other charity locations from a couple of different times before. We're going to be doing that again all this year. Same reason. We can support each other, so we're going to. I'm going to direct you to some places. Okay? From now until then, please take care of yourselves. Be
Yeehaw.
safe. Say goodnight, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Night, everybody. Wow.